Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
I looked at my calendar and it says June 13th, but I swear to God it feels like December 24th. Are you serious, Erin? With what we've got coming up this weekend, I mean, this is like Christmas Eve when you're an 8-year-old little kid knowing that Santa's coming down the chimney.
I agree. Absolutely.
This weekend, we've got the Knoxville drivers versus the Outlaw drivers.
Versus
Lance DeWeese. Okay. So a 3-ring circus in Knoxville. It's the Brownells Big Gun Bash.
Great name.
Oh, I love that name too.
Name.
I love that name. And then, if that's not enough, the Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Stars, they're at Attica Friday night, kicking off 9 straight nights Ohio Speed Week.
9 straight nights.
9 straight nights. So June 13th or December 24th, take your pick. This is a great time to be alive.
Oh, great time to be a sprint car fan.
Oh man, this is going to be good. So, hey, we're going to talk to Brian Brown about the All-Star or the Outlaws rolling into Knoxville. So we're going to talk to Brownie about that here in just a little bit. Before we do that, though, let's take a look back. This is what happened on Saturday night, Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. Listen to this call. Johnny Gibson, Dirt Vision, World of Outlaw NOS Energy Springs at Granite City Speedway. Brad Sweet and Carson Macedo mixing it up. It's our Dryden Diesel all death-defying move of the week.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Brad Sweet, who comes right back at him with a slide job of his own in turn 4. What a battle between Carson Macedo and Brad Sweet.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information. Instilled with Dryden's heritage of performance, Dryden Diesel All Death is built for the demands of today's diesel engines. Dryden Diesel All Death is perfect for owners and operators of on-road and off-road diesel trucks and cars that now require diesel exhaust fluid. Dryden, official motor oil and official diesel exhaust fluid of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. And as always, American-owned and operated. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Are you a serious diecast collector? Do you have a favorite driver? Are you looking for a gift for a race fan? No matter what the question, the answer is always PlanBSales.com. Plan B has all the latest in diecast from Lionel and apparel, artwork, and other items for your favorite driver in NASCAR or other forms of racing. Go to PlanBSales.com. Key your driver's name in the search window and look at all the options. Your one stop for diecast and other motorsports collectibles is PlanBSales.com.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing as a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the past 16 years and a partner of Wing Nation for the past 4 years. We love sprint car racing, and we're there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
This is the Wing Nation Podcast. Back to Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
There are weekends that we circle on the calendar. I know we circle a week in August. I get that.
Yeah.
But this weekend coming up is one that we circle on the calendar as well because it's when the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Sprint Cars roll into Knoxville for the 2-night Brownells Big Gun Bash. And waiting for their arrival after multiple trips to Victory Lane this year is Brian Brown. Hello, Brownie. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Good to be on, guys. It's you did something right if you can get on Wing Nation. So we're happy to be back on.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Picked up the win last Saturday night, and it's not your first trip to Victory Lane in Knoxville. How do you feel your speed has been? How have you felt about your Knoxville effort so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like, honestly, this is probably the best. We kind of stumbled on some things there real late last year. Me and my crew chief, Chad Morgan, did. We just kind of have taken the ball and actually ran with it. And probably the best car we've ever had there. I feel like not only just run the top, but I really have made a conscious effort to watch a lot of video and just devote myself to being able to run the bottom and do it consistently, and a whole different driving style, and just trying to. If you're going to win these races later in the year, you got to be able to run both spots and be confident, run both spots, and that's what it's going to take to win those races. And I don't want to leave. I don't want to be the weak link in the chain for our team, and I got to do my part.
Brian, you said a whole different driving style. I mean, you've won 47 times at Knoxville. Obviously, you're doing something right. What do you mean when you say that?
Well, Erin, I mean, as you know, you can, when it's around the top, I mean, you can run around there full throttle or three-quarter throttle and drag the brake and run real hard around there majority of the time when it's like that. But as you do that, you're just running your tires off your car, and you're dragging your left rear, and then your left rear starts blistering, and your tires aren't that good a shape at the end of those races. And that's where Donnie Schatz is so good, that he always has his tires under him, and he always is just making sure that his car never spinning the tires and things like that. So when you run the bottom, you have to make sure you don't slip your tires on the entry of the corner, and you got to make sure you're running the brake. And there may be times within the corner that you're maybe a quarter throttle.
Yeah.
So it just takes a whole different type of driving style as far as what you do with your feet and things like that. So not fun running the bottom, I can tell you that. But it's a lot more fun just to rip around the top and make some hay up there. But like I said, if we want to reach our goals, you have to look yourself in the mirror from time to time and know you got to get better in certain areas. And that's an area that I feel like that it's not that I've been horrible at it. It's just I've not put a lot of effort into making sure that I'm as good on the bottom as I am top. And what we found with our cars want to go down there more than they have in the past. And I think that should hopefully pay dividends, in the next couple months here.
That was going to be my next question. When you talk about not slipping the right rear on entry, is that something that you're working on with your feet and the pedals, or is it something you found in the car to help prevent that?
A little bit of both. I feel like that, if you can get your car where you want to go to the bottom, you can just turn your car and get to the bottom. It just makes your job a lot easier, and you can charge in there with a lot more speed. Before, our car it was good, but it wasn't just, I didn't feel like my car just was able, the front wheels would just turn down there when I needed to turn down there. So without giving up too much information, we've just worked on our package to make it our car more maneuverable. So and then once you get down there, it's all, if you can go in there three-quarter throttle on entry, you want to go in there three-quarter throttle. If you go in there full throttle, you might drive by the corner.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in there half throttle, you may slow down so much where somebody's going to be able to get a run on your outside. So a feel thing more than anything, and just getting that feel is what like I think we ran almost 40 laps there on Saturday, and I think I ran 38 of them on the bottom, just trying to make sure that it may not be the fastest route all the time, but you may have to run the top for 41 laps at the Knoxville Nationals, then you have to be able to peel off and hit the bottom. Peel off. Cannot miss it.
Mm-hmm.
If you miss it, you won't win it. So I think Brad Sweet proved that last year. He had a green-white checkered, and he nailed the bottom for 3 laps.
Mm-hmm.
He misses at one corner. He does not win the Knoxville Nationals, and that was just kind of an eye-opener for me. That, and he kind of said the same thing last year, as he committed himself to making himself a better race car driver by running the bottom, and he left with the Knoxville Nationals.
My question was going to be, did you listen to Brad Sweet? And you ended your answer with that, because you sound exactly like Brad did after we talked to him after winning the Knoxville Nationals, and that's so big. I think one of the keys, though, Brian, is I think I've at least watched every highlight package, and I've watched a number of them live. That track has been so consistent this year. It's amazing how good that racetrack has been this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's everybody, it's kind of cliche, and everybody says, oh, the Duncans are the best in the world, but they really are. I mean, they have, there's not a night that I can remember that you go to Knoxville and the racing's not phenomenal. And they get thrown curveballs with 100-degree heat or rain or whatnot, and they still make it good. You know, they're the best, and you know, I think that's, if you get your car good, you know, there's really no excuse why you can't pass cars at Knoxville, because they'll have, if the bottom's good, they'll have another lane that you can go and still pass, and that, you can't say that about a lot of tracks. And I think what's unique about the Duncans is they care about their racetrack no different than we care about our race cars, and they want the best racetrack no different than we want the best race cars. So their fans, they sit up there in the grandstands and they say, well, that was good or that was bad. And I think it's pretty awesome that, you know, it's been around their family for, I think they've been doing the track for about 50 years there within their family, and then just that they care that much and show it by the tracks they give us every single weekend.
To me, what makes this so important is what our last topic was, you working on hitting the bottom. And this topic, the racetrack being consistent, it's that consistent racetracks that allows you to work on things that you want to work on, though, because you go to a lot of places and you say, I want to work the bottom, but you might have to wait 3 weeks for the bottom to be good. That's got to be the beauty of running there like you do.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's what, you know, I'm not saying that locals have an advantage, but they have maybe a little bit of an advantage over 90% of the field, you know, especially like this coming weekend, just because, you know, we've been able to be there and know the kind of tendencies and the trends of the track. You know, all 3 weekends, I've only been there 3 out of the 4 weekends, but all the 3 weekends I've been there, the track has trended the same from hot laps on. And I think that helps our notebook. You know, if it's one weekend quick time was 14.8, the next weekend quick time was 16.8. A lot of those really don't you can't really use both of those data to be able to make your car better. But I think quick time has been in that 15.5 to 16 range every single week, and I think when they get it that good and slick for qualifying, that really, you know, we've won our heat race from 6th, I think, twice out of 3 nights. So it just lends a really good heat race action too. So you get the best of both worlds, and we can't wait to get there this weekend.
You know, that says a lot about the Duncans, especially with the weather that you guys get in the Midwest. I know it's been crazy with a lot of rainouts. Brian, you mentioned this upcoming weekend, World of Outlaws, Friday and Saturday night. How excited are you to race against the Outlaws and see where you stack up? Yeah,
I mean, I'm excited just to be able to go to Knoxville and race 2 nights, and, you know, it pays $10,000 to win each night. So, you know, the Outlaws, you know, they're the best in the world, and it's a good test for everybody in the field to see kind of where they stack up. We're not putting a lot of stock and a lot of pressure on ourselves this week like we have in the past. We've been in situations where we won races prior to them coming before, and it was, well, if we don't beat the Outlaws, we're failures, and we put so much pressure on ourselves that we get doing things that we normally wouldn't do. So our goal, we're going to go in there and just do what we do, and we feel like if we get our car good enough and I drive good enough, we can beat anybody in the world there. And if I drive bad and our car's bad, we can get beat by anybody in the world. So what's unique about the whole situation is if you win by a half a lap or you lose by a half a lap, it has zero effect on the Knoxville Nationals. They don't. If you win, they don't give you the pole to Nationals. So everything's earned at Knoxville, and hopefully we can go in there and just have 2 solid nights and, you know, be in contention hopefully to win both nights. And if we do that, we'll look at ourselves on Monday, and that'll be a successful weekend.
Brian, one of the things that I just truly respect about you is your respect and love of the history of racing in Knoxville, but the history of racing across the country. And you've spent a lot of time in the state of Pennsylvania in September of each month. And I know one time on the program we talked about you going to lunch with Davy Brown just to go to lunch with Davy Brown, not to get his winning setup, but to go to lunch with Davy Brown. Knoxville this weekend is going to be a 3-ring circus. There's going to be one ring with the World of Outlaw guys. A There's going to be one ring with you guys from Knoxville, and there's going to be one ring around that 69K car rolling in there. As a guy that wants to race against the best, as a guy that loves the history of the sport, understands rivalries and those sort of things, what do you think the vibe is going to be with that additional car with that iconic dream team rolling in there this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think the vibe's been there for 3 years or however many years they've been together with Donnie and and Davey and Lance. I think it's great. I mean, I seen him at Mansfield the other week, and I just told him, hey, you're coming out to our neck of the woods. If you guys need anything to make your trip better, let us know. I know everybody in Knoxville. Let us know. I mean, I just think it's great that there's such a successful team that they're kind of going outside their comfort zone a little bit, trying to, in all reality, win the biggest race of the year in August. And they're smart. They don't go places they feel like that they're not going to be competitive, and they race for good money. And if they felt like they were going to come, they wanted to come for the Knoxville Nationals. They want to give themselves the best opportunity to succeed in August, and by doing that is coming out here in June and getting their feet wet and seeing what they may come and win by half a lap and know that, hey, we've got a pretty good program, or they may come and struggle and know what they have to work on. But all in all, if this weekend couldn't get any bigger with them coming, I think it's great. I mean, I think it's, getting Davy Brown back out there. I think he had said he hadn't been back out there in, 15 years, and Donnie and things like that. I think a lot of people are hoping that they struggle just because they're so good everywhere they go, but I think they're kind of in for a rude awakening. The fans are. I think they're going to be right in the hunt. Lance DeWeese is a very, very good race car driver. That car is always spot on, and Davey and Donnie, make sure of that. So I'm excited to see. There's been chatter in our shop for a long time. How do you think they'll do? You think they'll do this? And that just adds to the excitement of our whole sport. And in general, as a fan, I can't remember a time that sprint car racing in general was as big as it is right now with Nashville, with just what went on. And, we're getting some major notoriety from a lot of people within the whole sport of racing. Chase Elliott and guys like that, with Ray's coming in and Tony, and it's just it's a good time to be a sprint car fan, and the sky's the limit. I feel like if we all work together.
There's no better place to end than that, because I'm in complete agreement. Erin and I are sitting here both nodding our heads. We're in complete agreement with that. Brian, we certainly wish you the best this weekend, and no, you're gonna be tough to handle out there when everyone rolls in there. We wish you the best, and can't wait to see what happens this weekend.
Yeah, sounds good. Hopefully we do something good. We can maybe come back on next week, and if not, I'm sure you guys see you at Jackson or somewhere down the road. Just even though I'm not on every week, I do enjoy listening. You guys do a phenomenal job, and we're real proud that you guys are a part of sprint car racing also.
We're blessed. We really, truly are. Thanks for the time, Brownie.
All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
There we go. Brian Brown. World of Outlaw, NOS Energy Sprint Cars, Friday and Saturday night, Brownell's Big Gun Bash, Knoxville Raceway. Last year's winners, Donnie Schatz and David Gravel. This to me is maybe, and to Brian's point, sprint car racing is in a great spot because we have compelling stories.
Yeah.
Okay. We have the compelling story right now with the World of Outlaws, where for the last few years we've had one guy dominate. Right now, you don't know who's going to win these freaking races.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've been incredible.
They've been incredible. The racing is good. You've got Knoxville that is Knoxville.
Yep.
You could attach 72 adjectives to Knoxville, or you could just say Knoxville and it all means the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's epic. And then the 3-ring circus, you throw that 69K, which is maybe one of the most compelling stories in sprint car racing, and they're finally going to get off the porch, to steal the phrase, and they're going to go out to Knoxville. And you're right. They may win by a half a lap. They may not even make the show. We don't know where it's going to be.
But they're going to learn.
They're going to learn.
Yeah.
And that's what that team went to Port Royal for the Twin 20s. They didn't go necessarily to win those Twin 20s. They got a new Ryder engine in that car, and they went and they left there. Wagner won both the races. Logan Wagner won both the races, but Donnie Kreitz is like mission accomplished. And you're sitting there going, what did they learn?
Yeah.
What did they learn? That's the beauty of Pennsylvania thing, and I think that's why Brownie going to Pennsylvania has been so good, because Pennsylvania, we talk about Knoxville being the big half mile. That's where the California drivers struggle when they come there. That's where the Pennsylvania drivers can thrive, because it's big half miles in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah.
The tracks are size-wise very comparable.
Yeah.
I'm geeked up beyond belief.
Me too.
This is going to be epic. Can we start now?
Be tuned in.
Tuned in to Dirt Vision, yes. And let's see what happens. I am telling you, though, if that baby blue 69 parks on the front stretch and you get a picture with Doug Clark behind him with the flag stand, we're going to be a nation of 49 states, because one in the Northeast, the Keystone State, is going to implode. I mean, it's going to be like one of those buildings. Just going to be
And talk about the posse going to the Nationals. If the 69K wins this weekend, can you imagine the amount of posse?
Well, Donnie Schatz has already told them they better be there.
He called them out
Schatz
nicely,
called them right out on their porch. He stood right on their porch on the front stretch at Williams Grove and said, I know y'all are cheering. This 69K is coming to Knoxville. You better come with it.
Yeah, I like that.
I am telling you, and this goes to Brownie's point, we're at such a great spot with this sport.
Mm-hmm.
My God, you get to this stage of the week Thursday, and it's like you can't even sleep. It's like Christmas Eve waiting to see what's going to happen this weekend. I mean, my God, are we fortunate? It's crazy. So we'll see what happens out in Knoxville. And if that's not enough, then you got those crazy All-Stars. They're teeing it up at Attic on Friday night. 9 straight nights. Have they lost their freaking minds? 9 straight nights. We're going to be bleary-eyed. We're going to be speed shifting it until, my God.
Yeah. We have it so bad, but we don't have to go to the car wash. We don't have to.
Stop bringing reality into this, Erin. I want a pity party for myself.
Those poor crew guys.
Oh, I know. Can you imagine? You can imagine it. But I am telling you.
I mean, like night 8, and you're going to the car wash at 1 in the morning.
I think night 8 would be all right. I think about night 5.
It's the mid, because you still know.
And if you start off, if you're wearing everybody out, night 5 is probably good. But if you've toasted a car or had an engine problem and everything, night 5, you got to be just somebody put me.
Yeah.
Mother Nature, we hate you. Where are you?
Where
at
are
when
you
we
now?
Need you? You were, I mean, it is Ollie's Bargain Outlet, All-Star Circuit of Champions, Ohio Speed Week, Friday night at Attica. It just does not get any better to Attica. Saturday night, Eldora. Sunday, Muskingum County Speedway in Zanesville. Monday, Wayne County. Tuesday, Sharon. Wednesday, Atomic. Thursday, Mansfield. Friday, Limaland, and then back to Wayne County. It's so good, I'm going to go up there next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm going to hit Mansfield, Limaland, and Wayne County, because there's 3 tracks I've never been to, and I want to see how tired these guys really are.
You'll come in there all fresh.
I know. I'll be Thursday. They'll be like, he needs to pump the brakes a little bit.
slow down, stop
talking.
talking.
Slow down a little bit. Come on, guys, let's go. They'll be like, stop. Just shut up. But it is going to be great. Ohio Speedway. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. They're starting their Westward Ho swing. Yeah. I love this part of their tour. Friday night, Brown County Speedway in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Saturday, Black Hills Speedway, Rapid City, South Dakota. Co-sanctioned with the Frontier region. You know what that means next week? Skagit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dirt Cup. Oh, my gosh. You want to talk? I got to that one last year. A lot of times you go to these things and you say, okay, I've checked it off my bucket list. You know what going to Skagit meant?
Now you want to go every year.
Because Skagit, like some things you get to the top of the bucket list, you check them off, and it's like, okay, they just disappear. Well, Skagit, I went there, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Now, Skagit's still in the top 5 on my bucket list. No, wait, when you check it off the bucket list, how does it get back on the bucket list?
If it's that good.
It's that good is what it is. And that part of the country.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
And that salmon that guy.
Back to the food.
Mark, is it Shark? I think Shark Engines.
Yes, Shark Engines.
Oh, my God, that salmon bake. Oh, I mean. So here we go. They're headed west to Skagit. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. Regional racing. Friday, Heart of Texas, the Lone Star region. Warrior region, Friday and Saturday in Missouri. Gulf South region, Thunder Valley Speedway on Saturday night in Glenmora, Louisiana. Friday night, Williams Grove. This is always a fun one. 410 sprints in USAC Silver Crown. That is neat. How about this one? We don't talk about these guys much. Riverside Speedway out in West Memphis. Friday night, the Hooker Hood Classic. Saturday night, the Greg Hodnett Memorial. That rich Memphis racing tradition is going to be on display. That's fantastic.
It's a fantastic racetrack.
It's a great racetrack.
Great
That's
racetrack.
another one that's on that bucket list.
Yeah, it should be.
Well, yeah, it is. It's just the dang schedule. I mean, we need about 60 weekends a year. And my real job, I love my real job. That's the problem. My real job gets in the way of the bucket list. It's first world problems.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that.
Oh, my gosh. I've got it like better than
Poor postman.
I've got it better than anybody on the planet. I'm just trying to scratch and claw to complain about something. Roadshow coming up. Minnesota Mafia Wing Nation, Jackson Nationals.
Oh, boy.
Where are we at? We're at about, 2 weeks.
Flipping pancakes.
Man, I'm so fired up about that. Jackson Nationals, it is going to be epic. Coming up this weekend, HRP Racing updated their upcoming shows. Saturday, Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. Sam Haferteep Jr. joins the girls. It's Erin and Ashley hosting the show, so it is going to be fun. Thanks to Brian Brown for joining us. Thank you for joining us here as well today.
This has been the Wing Nation Podcast. Find Wing Nation on wingnation.com, Facebook, YouTube, or your favorite podcast provider. The Wing Nation Podcast is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.